Previously, I did a challenge where I played every agent in the game, but this was before a very important agent for ranked games came out. Clove. Ever since Clove came out, Reyna and Jett are not the most played agents in ranked anymore. So why are more players picking Clove, and why is their win rate so high? I wanted to test this win rate percentage myself. Without boring you with all the statistics, let me just give you an outline on some rules I'm going to follow for this challenge. Number 1, I can only play Clove in ranked games. Number 2, I have to solo queue. Number 3, I have to pick Clove on all maps. By the way, I stream this whole challenge on my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Tokibbi, and I'd love for y'all to follow me on there too. I decided as long as I'm going to put myself through hell, I might as well do it thoroughly. So let's get to work. So what makes Clove, well, Clove? Number 1, pick me up. Pick me up is an overheal that you have for a limited time if you're able to damage or get an enemy. Seems most similar to Reyna heal. Number 2, metal. Metal is Clove's decay. It doesn't have much range, so definitely won't be using it for lineups, but more likely to use it right before peeking cramped spots like U-Haul on bind. Number 3, ruse. Clove smokes are small and short compared to other controller players, and that's okay. But it is offset by the fact that you can use it when you're dead. They'll recharge and you have a chance to help out your team during post-plant if they stay within that limited range in your post-plant iPad. And finally, number 4, the ultimate, called Not Dead Yet. Clove's ult looked absolutely insane when the trailer first dropped, since you can self-revive. But honestly, I find it's very situational, and I personally don't think it's broken. Game 1, the taste for blood. I was feeling somewhat confident my first game on. I think it's because I committed the cardinal sin of Valorant players, which was touching grass. So I was pretty energized and ready to see what Clove is all about. For a pistol round, I put some smokes down and I knew their overheal would be strong, so after I got this kill, I used it ASAP. Ooh. The round played out okay, but I was concerned for what lies ahead. I've never played Clove on this map, and on top of that, I am not a controller main, so I felt like a newborn deer. Halfway through our attack round, it was painfully obvious that I didn't know how to use my smokes on attack. I put the same smokes on truck as I would if I'm pushing short, exposing myself to both short and heaven. Also, I quickly noticed that one of the shortcomings of their post-death smokes is the fact that there's a limited range, so if I die and my team rotates, I am pretty much rendered useless. However, one of the most fun elements of Clove is definitely their ult, and I tried doing that here. But again, it was painfully obvious to me that it was just a terrible time to pop it, -7 ult orbs, and did not secure the round. I ended the game with 12 kills and lost the game, but I was determined more than ever to improve. Game 2, learning to lurk. This game was all about learning how to lurk on Clove. I decided to take a more active approach to using my smokes, and I figured that my smokes last the shortest out of any of the controller agents, so I'm gonna use my smokes more selfishly. This game went a lot better than the first one. I was finally using my vulnerable, I'm looking at you, past Tokyo of game 1, and even used the overheal before smoking myself off to plant. We lost this game, but it felt good, and I knew I was finally starting to heat up on Clove. Game 3, Clove's Playground. If you guys have ever joined my streams, I often talk about how much I despise Lotus, like abhor Lotus, and its corny door mechanic. And that's all changed during this challenge. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Lotus is made for Clove. I literally had peak immersion this game. I felt like I was Clove and Clove is me. And that's how I got an ace. We were on a budget buy, so I knew I had to make my shots count. I knew that Sage was going to be B because they wall it off almost every round, but I hadn't heard it go up yet. I thought I'd have a good timing on her, and I heard someone on upper 2. They were stomping like elephants on Link, so after taking Sage's Vandal, I knew I had a free kill. Then it was just about being patient and running down the clock during post-plant.
Oh, I saw her. Nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah! Let's go. The very next round, I got a 4K. You know that moment in JJK when Itadori experiences the Black Death or the Black Flash? I felt like I was wrangling all the demons inside me and I was just destroying enemies left and right. Then I got a 3K the next round and we ended the game in OT. It's my first win of the day. Yay! But it would be my only one for a while. Game 4 through 7, the loss streak. It had to happen, and this is where the story turns on its head. The beast that was conquering Lotus was no more. I was like dragon without donkey. I was all over the place. I was either pushing too far or not pushing it enough. Also, my worst game of the day was played during this time, and it was on Split. I went 9 and 19. Game 7.5, the training arc. So after feeling like an absolute jackass to my poor teammates because I was just losing every duel and I didn't know how to fix what the heck I was doing with my limited knowledge. So I took a break and I used some resources on YouTube to help me figure out what I can do better on Split. Game 8, the comeback. After I watched that video, guess which map I get? Split. I was ready to put everything I just learned to the test. I know some of y'all had finals, and to me, this was my final test. Attack on Split was rough. We weren't coordinated, and more than that, we just couldn't clutch the rounds. But have you ever heard of the 3-9 curse? You might have heard your teammates saying this in-game, praying to the Valorant gods. It's a widely believed phrase that means the most comebackable games are when the scoreline is at 3-9. The 3-9 curse might have originated in a VCT tournament matchup between DRX and FPX. Anyway, we started pulling ourselves out of the gutter round by round on defense, hoping that the 3-9 curse would activate. The enemy team couldn't stop us for 7 rounds in a row. It was insane, and all of us on the team could feel the comeback happening. Then I had this juicy 4K at 10-11. I decided to fake the plant since we were down numbers, hoping to bait out one of the enemy teammates who were close, and that's what happened. After a couple missed shots, I decide it's probably safer to smoke off heaven at this point. I fake and reload one more time, since the enemy team certainly doesn't seem to have learned the first time, and I decide to plant slant since my teammate is heaven, and that's when Harbor peeks me from elbow and we wrap it up. Let's get this dub! Let's do it. I said it before, but this truly felt like the game where all my skills I had learned on Clove were being put to the final test. However, I went back to my gold roots and started pushing down mid with no util. No smokes for my team, just pure ego. So the enemy Harbor caught wind of it, instantly took me out, and I was left on post-plant smokes duty. Luckily, my teammates clutched this round up, and it was time to wrap this game up, or so I thought. I immediately learned from my mistake from the previous round and decided to use my decay molly to clear a backside. That's when I saw this unsuspecting player hiding behind the box with the tip of their gun showing, calling out to me like a siren in the sea to peek him dry. So what did I do next? Obviously, I had to peek him. I lost the engagement, but luckily, since we had sight, my teammates decided to stay there, which means I could still be a useful post-plant agent. Then that's when my race had this incredible moment. You crazy f***er! Oh my god! It's working! I have a smoking 5. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but that just meant more time for me to spruce up my game and win this game out. Next round, a pack of elephants were running down mid, so I tried to delay with a smoke and got ready for the fight. I was able to take down Raze, but they apparently wanted to win with the power of friendship.
We'll use the power of friendship.
For this round, to set my team up for going B, I did this Clove smoke that I found to be more helpful than the immediate heaven smoke if my Sage decided to wall. I got myself these 2 juicy kills and we secured that round, giving us one last chance to win this game out. How many times do I have to say this? It was so many overtime rounds, guys. This round had the fake of all fakes. The enemy pulled a double fake on us, leading me to my death in B heaven. But my teammates clutched up yet again. Thank you, team. Oh my god. We had a pretty mid round, but we somehow convinced the entire lobby to play one more round of overtime. The Raze flanked, taking my Cypher's head off Colleen, which left me in a 1v1 for the game-winning point. This was for all the marbles. I had to give a master class, and that's what I did. Nice, let's go. GG's, guys. I can see the allure of Clove. I mean, they have a 47% pick rate, and they aren't going away anytime soon. They're built like a degen duelist that can be used for aggressive pushes onto site, or you can play them passively and play around your team. Even after the nerf, Clove is a rank stomper. Maybe not as strong as ISO or Neon currently after the newest patch. Let me know if I should test those agents out in a video like this in the comments below, and I'll probably make them, honestly. Some things that I've learned on Clove. Number 1, don't be conservative. Use your smokes because they recharge fast and you can use them after your death. Number 2, run it down. And number 3, play smart, have fun, and get that juicy RR. Let's go.